On today's episode of Financially Fierce, I want to talk about I'm going to say world, because I feel like it's now taken over the world. Our favourite spendy sale. That is none other than Black Friday. Yup, billions of dollars, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of brands. And I don't know about you, but like one very overstimulated little brain over here. And I, as a self-proclaimed frugal person, just want to say from the outset of today's episode, Black Friday isn't evil. Spending money is not bad per se. But I do think that how Black Friday has become, a cultural phenomenon really in Australia, it is engineered to have you buy. Like, let's make no mistake about it. And our brains light up. Our brains love that. They love the dopamine hit. They like the countdown clock. They like the sale ends tonight that's like, screaming at you in capitals and all the things. It is designed to hack your brain, like your decision-making system, before, logic and reason and care show up for work. And so what I would like to arm you with ahead of this Black Friday is let's do a bit of unpacking around some of the brain stuff and why we buy, how to make it actually work for you. Like if you are going to use Black Friday to your advantage, which I think you can, and we can talk about in today's episode, how do we make it work for you, not against you? And let's talk about some sustainable, small businesses, women-led brands that I think are worth supporting. I'm also going to talk to you about sort of how I've thought about it and some of the conundrums that I've sort of had thinking, oh God, is this something that I want to participate in at any level? So I'll tell you a little bit more about sort of how I'm thinking about it and what's on my list, because I want you to use your money to support you and your goals. And I think that if it's done correctly, Black Friday can be an opportunity to do so. Lots to unpack in today's episode. I'm excited to see where it'll take us. This is a podcast for everyone that wants to learn how to make fierce and bold choices with their money. We'll talk about how to shape your money mindset, investing for your future, your spending habits, the good and the bad, plus how to achieve your financial goals, and most of all, how to be financially fierce. I am a financial educator and I want to empower you to be more in control of your money and build the financial future that you want. I run the Greenhouse Money Growing Program, and you can find details of that in the podcast show notes. My name is Jess Brady. It's time to get financially fierce. Before we dive in, according to Google, apparently Black Friday started in the US, God knows how long ago, and it was like the shopping day after Thanksgiving. Now, I read some different takes on this, because apparently it then turned retailers from in the red, which means that they were losing money, to into the black, which means they are profiting money, hence the name Black Friday. But I also read that because people were storming, I think it was in Philadelphia, it caused chaos and for police and all of these things. And so it became this sort of problem. Anyway, fact checking on point to start today's episode. Point being, this is not something that I think anyone in Australia was used to having. I don't even remember Black Friday really being a thing a decade ago. I could absolutely be wrong, but it is absolutely a thing now. A little bit like Halloween. We just celebrated Halloween a couple of weeks ago in Australia. I don't remember Halloween at all as a child. And now I feel like, how sad would it be if you couldn't dress up as a Spice Girl and walk around your neighborhood looking for lollies? So I think the phenomenon is here, and social media, it's like this perfect storm, right? Because you've got brands that are going to be giving you an opportunity to buy. You've got a brain that is probably geared to buy. The combination of those things together, especially when we know that many marketers are looking at, when are you most likely to purchase? Normally it's when you're emotional and at night. You don't have to walk into a shopping center. We've just got all these things that can mean that this can very quickly get out of hand. So this is like a marathon. It's not just the Friday. Now it goes all the way, I think, to the Monday, which is called Cyber Monday. Allegedly, last year, so that would have been 2024, Aussies dropped, deep breath, about $6.8 billion. I'll just say it again, $6.8 billion over the Black Friday weekend. Holy Jesus. With retail turnover allegedly spiking 0.8% in November alone. That's a lot of money to spend in a weekend, my friends. 6.8 billion. It also freaks me out when I think about what that might do to inflation. So a lot of money is being spent. Are we being strategic or are we just getting sucked on in? You're probably going to get bombarded from every damn direction. Let's arm you with a game plan, a strategy for how to make this work for you. And if you don't want anything, then your job is to just turn everything off for a couple of days. You will survive. But let's get into how we actually arm ourselves so that we are not impulse buying, we are not derailing ourselves, but we're being smart and strategic and considered, because I think you can actually use this to your advantage. So let's just talk about the sciencey bit first. I'm here as your pretend neuroscientist. So when it comes to our brain, what we know is that when you see things that are like flashing and it's like the, 40% off sign, your brain has a little system, God knows what it's called, but like the dopamine, those feel-good chemicals are lighting up because of that item, because of the anticipatory feeling. Is that the right word? Anticipation? I guess is probably the better way to say it. Of that thing. We get excited at the idea of something, which is why sometimes it can be so hard to reconcile where when we buy something, we get all of these good feels, all the endorphins. And then when we get the thing, it's actually not as exciting as when we purchased it. It's like the anticipation. You know, like when you're waiting for Christmas when you're little, if you celebrate. Not to say Christmas was crap, but like that build up is almost better than the time itself. Aren't we humans fascinating? So now that we can be marketed to everywhere, anywhere, anytime, we need to recognize that there are tactics and ways that marketers are using, all of the different things that are going on in our brain to try to get us to part with money. We just have to see that for the system that it is. And once you start seeing it, it's great because you can't unsee it. And then you can start to go, I'm not buying into that. I'm not interested in that. Unless it is something that you really want and you have planned for, which we'll come to. So, the ticking timers and the 1,000 people have in this cart, or hurry, there's only 3 items left, or, whatever. Like, we need to recognize that that is a way to get you to feel like there is scarcity and that you might miss out. Because wouldn't it be awful to miss out? And so then your brain's like, oh shit, I don't want to miss this thing out. I want to beat the other people to it. I got to get in there. I got to be first. So it's kind of fear that is driving, we laugh and joke about FOMO, but it kind of is FOMO that's like, shit, I don't want to miss out on this thing. I want to have it. I got to do the thing. I've got to take action, because it's lovely to mosey on by and be like, oh, that's a nice thing. It is a completely other thing to be like, there is urgency here. And when our brain is alert, and so, these things around carts not having many left or whatever the thing is, our brain is more alert because there is sort of fear. And when we are in that sort of state, we are more focused on the thing. So we are more likely to take action because our brain sort of narrows in on it. Allegedly, just go and do your research. And we're like, we don't want to miss out. This is scary. If I miss out, that would be awful. I'm going to focus in on the thing and I'm going to create the action that makes sure that I don't miss out, because that would be scary. And then when we don't miss out, we feel all of this elation. We can argue till the cows come home about whether this is right or wrong. I think the thing is, it is. It just is. So marketing that's their job. It's designed to, create an action. They want you to buy something. That's why they exist. And frankly, they need to get you to buy something because that's probably how they pay their bills. So I get it. And I sort of feel a little bit conflicted talking about this, because what I know is when I open the doors to the greenhouse, we have a massive spike of people who join in the first 24 hours because we make a big song and dance about it, because I only do it 3 times a year. And then we have a massive spike when I say to people, hey, we're closing in a day. Are you in or you're not in? Because we're not opening it for another few months. And we see a whole bunch of people join as well. And so, I have learned that if I don't tell people that they're closing, I get so many emails going, oh, hi, did I miss Have I missed the intake? I'm like, oh God, yes, you have. And so we do tell people, if you want in, you got to get in. And people do take action. So I can see why businesses do this, because it does create the action that they want, which is ultimately for you to buy the thing. And I guess I want too, because I want people to join the greenhouse. Like, let's not pretend that I'm, just moseying on the side. Sure, that's fair. I think what we do is different than buying a cardigan that you wear twice and ends up in landfill. I think what we do is, helping people change their belief system about money and build wealth forever. So like, I don't know, maybe people who do marketing of whatever the fuck they're selling, maybe they also feel as passionate about what I do, and then it helps them feel emboldened to create campaigns that create urgency and action. But I think when we do this, it can be really easy to lose our cool, and we lose it quickly. And suddenly we're like, oh yeah, we need 3 of those candles. And while I'm here, I was doing some online shopping for groceries the other day, and then I went to click buy, and it was like popping up like, are you sure you don't want these items? And what about these? You've ordered these before. And I was like, wow, even for groceries now we're doing this. And so suddenly if you are in the mindset where you're just like, oh, maybe, and then suddenly your cart is considerably bigger and different to what you had anticipated. So I want you to not beat yourself up. Like, these people are really smart. They're using the best of the business to try to figure out how to get you to be most interested in what they're doing and most likely to do the trigger, which is to buy the thing. And so I don't want you to wrap shame or guilt or frustration with past behaviors to where you're at right now. All we can do is look for lessons and learnings. And whilst we can sort of package this up as a disciplinary thing, like you don't have enough self-discipline, etc., I also think it is our brains, like they've like hacked into how our brains work. And it is not fair that we haven't evolved. Well, it's not fair to beat yourself up that we haven't evolved considerably in the last, 20 years, or however long social media has been going. But I think once you understand your triggers, you can absolutely take your power back. So if you know that you're not in the emotional space to be tempted, I think you have to do a really good job of recognizing that if I go near social media or whatever it is, I am perhaps going to go down a path that I do not want to go down. So perhaps what I'll do here is just tell you how I'm approaching Black Friday. So as a frugal gal, I was very, very against Black Friday when it first started coming out. I also had this weird cultural thing where I was like, oh, this is American and what the hell is this doing here? Which some people still feel. Other people are like, well, if I'm going to buy the thing anyway, why would I not buy it on sale? And that really challenged my thinking a number of years ago. And I was like, that is true. Because if I am going to buy the thing, why would I not want to buy it on sale? So I have been collating, if you will, what and how I am going to use Black Friday for me personally and my family. So I love a bargain and I love a good deal, but I want to be really intentional. I don't like spending money for the sake of it. Certainly not on stuff that feels superfluous and that I just do not value. But if I am going to buy stuff, I want to do it in a way that feels right for me and is within my budget, but also is something where I'm like, sure, I'm going to get good value from it. The thing that pisses me off the most is that I buy something and then I'm like, I don't even, why did I buy this? I haven't done that for a very long time, but I have done that before. And then I get grumpy at myself for wasting money. And then I can go down on these weird loops of feelings. Ew, feelings. So I want to be intentional. So I have been starting a list and I've been thinking about it not only for me personally, and I've just had things that I'm overdue on stocking up on. Maybe I'll show you my list and share with you my list and you'll be able to see what I mean. But I've also thought about it for Christmas. And we do Christmas in my house where we have our immediate family who does a Secret Santa, and we buy one gift. It's so great for our immediate family members. And we have, I think it's $100 or $150. I can't remember. So I actually need to get onto that for my family probably in the next couple of days so that we all know who we've got ahead of Black Friday so that I can also use the sale to buy my one family member a gift. If you haven't implemented this in your life yet, what are you doing? It is so much less stressful. We also send each other, rightly or wrongly, what we would like as a list so that people have an idea. So you're not standing aimlessly at the shops, if people still do that, thinking, what the actual hell do I do? Because if you're only going to get someone one present, if they're only getting one present from the family, you kind of want to know that what you're getting is something that you want and need. And we would as a family, we would rather give someone something that we know that they like and that they want and have a use for than kind of winging it and hoping for the best. Okay, maybe I will share with you my list. Let me share with you. Also, I might do a post about this, but I would love to support some more small businesses if I want and need the thing and all the things. So I might do a post about it. So when this episode goes up, have a look on Jess Brady _financial advice. And I'd love for you, if you know a great, I don't know, maybe it's Australian small business, maybe it's, I don't know, your small business, maybe it is a friend's small business, woman-led business, like whatever they're doing. If you think that they deserve a shout out, let's celebrate them and that, because small business is really friggin' hard. It is so hard. And what I find so interesting, having been in small business land for a while, is this weird thing where the people that will scream your business from the rooftops are often not the people that you think are going to do so. And I've heard this from so many small business owners. Like, you know, if your friend has a small business, shout it from the rooftop for them. They will love you forever. I'm sure they do anyway. But like, you know, support them if you can. Okay, so this is a bit embarrassing to admit, but I am absolutely in need of some updates of things. So here is what I've currently got on my list. I need new undies, and I've just not been shopping for a long time. So I have been recommended a brand called Underwear for Humanity, and I've also been recommended a brand, I'm hoping I'm going to pronounce it correctly, Awa. AWWA. Anyway, that's on my list. I want to buy some more bras from Nala. I really love their bras. And sorry to any of you that don't wear bras. You probably couldn't care less about what undies and bras I'm buying. I've got some brands in like the beauty category that I want to buy from. So some lipsticks that I need, because I'm the person that like, I get... Having a podcast just means that you just say things that you can't unsay that are very vulnerable. I'm the person that forgets to do that upgrade beauty item thing, and then I find myself with like no lipstick left and I've got like my finger in the thing. If you know, you know. Anyway, I'm at that point. So Susie is a brand of lipstick that I've actually never used but have been recommended by a friend who takes lipstick wearing quite seriously, so I'm going to check them out. I've started learning how to paint my nails. I'm at, I think, a 5-year-old level so far, because I just didn't have time to. I'm sick of sitting for an hour at the nail place, and they're always closed early. I've got work to do to improve them. But anyway, I used a brand that a friend had who was staying with me a couple of weeks ago called Hanami, Hanami. I apologize if I've said that incorrectly. Anyway, they were awesome, and you can like scratch the thing off, which I need because when they chip, I just let them go to pasture. Anyway, so I want to buy some stuff from them. Someone recommended me, I need some new loafers because I cannot wear heels anymore. I don't know if it's like an age thing or just because I'm no longer clomping around in the city anymore. Someone said that Frankie 4 is like a really good loafers business, so I need to go and check them out. Anyway, the other ones most exciting are I need new dog wash, shampoo and conditioner. I need a couple of things for the dog. I also need like a grooming set for the dog because I've been doing home grooms for the dog because she's not very happy at the groomer and she looks disheveled and homeless. So I'm hoping that I can buy, and I broke my clippers, so I'm hoping I can buy some Black Friday clippers for the dog. This is when you know adulting's so boring. Apart from a couple of things, this is a boring list, isn't it? But again, it just means that I'm only buying stuff that I really want. I haven't got this on my list because I got them a couple of weeks ago, but I do want to give a shout out to Carmen Get It, which is a business. I got some awesome colourful notebooks for my business, which is so fun and makes me excited. And also this amazing print that's going in my office. And I've got Christmas present here, but I haven't figured out who I'm buying for, so I haven't figured out what exactly I'm buying. But that is my Black Friday list. So my plan is basically when Black Friday happens, I'm going to give myself a budget, like a definite amount of money, and then I have to figure out from that amount of money, what am I buying? Because it could even be easy with my list that's not very long, nor interesting, to be very honest, for me to kind of go overboard. So I still want to have an amount of money and then I get to gamify it. Okay, this helps me triage, like what's the highest importance? Probably like undies and bras from an emergency perspective. Side note, I saw my doctor last year, and this is way too much information, but like I don't really wear a bra if I don't have to. She got grumpy at me. She's like, you have to wear a bra. I was like, why? Gravity's going to take set anyway. Like, do I really need to yet? She said, I do need to, which I'm like, really? I think I own like 2 bras. 3. I think I own 3 bras in total. The dog did eat a few, so that was a thing. But yeah, I think they are the priority ones, and the dog stuff because she looks homeless. And then based on what money I've got left, then I will deploy that for some of the kind of funner ones. But let's just pause there. For me, it's like, how do I do spending that is purposeful and useful, and I know that I'm not going to feel like it's a waste. I know I'm going to get value from them. I know I'm going to use them. I know that they are businesses that I feel mostly with the ones that I've mentioned are, either small businesses or women-led businesses, or not going to, I don't know, keep ripping the planet down. Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I find that really hard. But I want to know about other small businesses. So please DM me. I actually I'm going to do a whole big post on this that I would love everyone to get behind. Jess Brady _financial advice on the gram. I'll put a post up. My team will be grumpy that I haven't told them ahead of time that we're doing this. And I'd love for you to tag a business that you think we all should know about. Because isn't it better when we all win? Wouldn't it be lovely to just find other businesses that might be, God forbid, outside of Kmart and Temu and Amazon so that we could support them? Because when we support small businesses, they put the money back into the economy and they create jobs. And I don't know, I don't think Mr. Bezos cares whether you buy from him or not. Just saying. Okay, after the break, I'm going to talk about a couple of different steps to take before you part with cash to make sure that you've got everything lined up so that you survive with your budget budget intact, so that you are also feeling less stressed ahead of Christmas. Like, what if you just get it sorted ahead of time? I don't know, and like enjoy December. Is that a thing? Let's try to make that a thing. After the break, I'm going to give you my top tips so we can attempt to make that a thing to round out what has been a year, because we need a little bit of a break. Am I right? For the end of 2025?
If you're after personal financial advice, don't get it from a podcast. If you would like help based on your own personal situation, head over to moneypodcast.com.au, click Get Help, and we'd be happy to introduce you to one of our trusted professionals. Our panel of vetted financial advisors and mortgage brokers work with people all over Australia so they can connect with you wherever you are. That's moneypodcast.com.au and click Get Help.
Okay. I want to know if you do this and if it works for you. Give me feedback, because this might be wildly different to how you've been spending in the past. So for me, I've been sort of fine-tuning this over the years. And also I'm not a naturally spendy person. And so I have to recognize that I am apparently quite unusual. And so I want to know if these steps will help you. Before I do that, I want to kind of come back to something that I was saying earlier. Because I do not want Black Friday to be about mindless consumption. That is against everything that I believe in for so many reasons. And I hope it is against what you believe in too, and that's why you're here. And like, thank you for being here. And thank you for sharing this with people that you also think should be here. I love to see this community continue to grow and flourish. I want to say that, from a business lens, I last year did our Black Friday sale for the first time ever. And my, conundrum was like, am I just feeding into this problem? And then I was like, I know that if I can help people use their money to learn how to make more money over their lifetime, that is an investment in them. And like, I don't want to say proper self-care, but I think the term self-care has really been hijacked. If I think about what real self-care looks like, and it can come in lots of different varietals, like being secure and having autonomy and choice and independence and freedom is what so many people tell me that they crave. And I'm like, well, that is not a candle away or a bubble bath but away, my friends. Like, that is about creating enough wealth, honestly, to be able to have the goddamn candle. I'm not against candles or bubble baths. Let me just be really clear. But I was like, I want people to have the education around money that they should have got at school. And if it means that I can participate in this, but people will be on the other side better with money, I am okay with that and I can sleep at night on that. And that's always what I think about. If this was on the front page of the Fin Review, or if I had to stand up in a court, which sounds ridiculous, I know, but that's like how I always think about it. Like, would I be able to, hand on heart, say that was the right decision? And I think that's the yardstick that I learned in corporate, somewhat ironically. I think it's a good one. Anyway, for me, I was like, yes, I want to do this. And actually, Black Friday meant that we had so many people last year who joined our February intake, and it meant that they were able to, like, for some of them who were doing payment plans, divvy that money up to be able to, manage that smoother. So that was an interesting test for me. And we had so many people who said thank you. And so we're doing that again this year. So if you haven't joined the greenhouse yet, what are you doing? If you're listening to this when this app comes out, go and either join up to my newsletter. You probs want to join up to my newsletter, by the way, based on what we're doing, or check out on the socials what we're doing, because I saw a stat the other day on how many millions of dollars we earn over our lifetime. And I know how many people spend $0 over their entire lifetime on learning about money, $0. And I just think, wow, there is something wrong here if we're earning millions of dollars and we haven't spent a cent in actually getting support. And so if you want support and education and you want to improve your financial well-being or literacy in 2026, go and check out what we are doing for this Black Friday, because I want you to learn how to make more money. And I have watched thousands of people grow better money beliefs and better money habits and their bank balance, to be really honest. And that is honestly one of the most exciting things ever. And yes, I absolutely love giving you podcast stuff, but it is not the play-by-play program. It is not all the, very structured accountability and templates and guidance. So I'm excited to bring it back. And I'm fascinated to see whether that was just a blip last year. Anyway, so if you're putting together a budget, you might want to consider that as part of it. And I would love to have you join the greenhouse. And thank you to everyone who already has. And thank you if you're part of our evergreen community as well. All right, random tangent done. Here's the different steps that I want you to take before you start spending this Black Friday. I want you to figure out, what are you trying to do? Like, what is your intention? Is it to, like, stock up on things that you've been meaning to stock up on for the year, a la me? Is it getting all of the spendy season, festive season shopping done? Awesome. Like, set what that intention is and do set a budget. So before you put anything in your cart, I want you to ask yourself, just pause and be like, what problem is this solving for me? What is the intent here? Is it because I'm bored? Is it because I'm scared that I'm going to miss out because they've said that there's only 2 left? Am I stressed? And if the answer is yes to any of those, just say, I'll pick this up tomorrow. Just give yourself 24 hours breathing space. You will be amazed how different you feel in 24 hours. Close the tab. And if in 24 hours you still want it, different story. But most people don't. I always love this idea of quantifying or understanding the life spend. So if we think about how much that item is and we understand how much it costs in terms of the hours that we've had to work to receive after tax that amount of money, it can put so much perspective into the equation. So if you want, an air fryer, I don't know how much air fryers cost. I don't have one. I still can't figure them out. They seem amazing and like everyone has them. It's a bit like the Thermomix. Do you remember when everyone had the Thermomix? I feel like everyone's got an air fryer. I'm just over here with a Jaffle maker that I actually got last Christmas that was on my list, and I'm very happy with it. And thank you to all of those people who sent me Jaffle infill recommendations. You all know who you are, and if you've got one, send them to me. There were many. You can be so creative with what you put into Jaffle. Jaffle is 2 pieces of bread squashed together. It is not a toasted sandwich. I will stay on my hill. It closes at the edges, thus does something quite different. Don't put tomato in it. It'll burn the shit out of your face for about 3 to 5 business days is my hot take. So anyway, if you buy an air fryer, let's say they're a couple of $100, but you've figured out I've actually needed to work, 10 or 15 hours because you've got to think of the post-tax hourly rate. Then you can ask yourself, like, is this worth 2 hours of my life? Or 2 days of my life? Like, I've had to work 2 days of my life that I can't get back. The answer to that is quite interesting. If you've never done that before, I think understanding your hourly rate And then being able to look at that when you're making purchases is really interesting to decide, okay, I've traded off my most precious non-renewable asset, being my time, that I can't get back, that I don't know how much of it I have. How much of that time am I prepared to trade off to have that thing? Use a calculator inside my program to get people to figure out their hours, and it can be quite interesting. We had someone who did my program, I think it was earlier this year. Yes. And she figured out she was working for months of every year to buy crap that she didn't value nor need. Like months of every year of your life that you're trading off for stuff that you don't need is a lot of life to give up. So I think that's a really important little yardstick for you to use in this time. List first, then you can go shopping. If I, as a neurodivergent girly, who doesn't even really like spending, but if I just was aimlessly, I mean, I hate shopping centers, they give me a lot of anxiety, but let's pretend I didn't, and let's pretend I just had no clue of what I wanted or what I needed, and I just was aimlessly looking around, I very easily could be swept into things with reckless abandon. You might have a different take, but I know that without a list, I would be in a bit of trouble. And again, I have learned from experience. And so I think you must have a list, and then and only then can you shop. So write out what you need, be it, I don't know, Christmas gifts. Maybe you need some stuff for the home. You maybe you're doing upgrade at home. Maybe you need some, I don't know, tools or stuff for your business, stuff for the kids, stuff for the pets. I don't know, whatever. Write your list, and then we can figure out a budget, and maybe even then you can start doing some research into brands that are going to work for you based on whatever criteria is right for you. I also want you to know, like, you want to check and see whether the discount that they're saying they're giving you is actually a discount, because allegedly the ACCC did some research that basically said that there were many discounts, in inverted commas, where the was price and the now price were inflated. So there are places online where you can actually go and look at price history of stuff. So if they're like, oh, this was, I don't know, $1 billion and now it's 99 cents. You're like, wow, that's amazing. I must buy it. And then you figure out, oh, it wasn't $1 billion at all. I don't know how that is allowed, by the way, but allegedly it is. So you do maybe want to just see whether you're being hoodwinked. Is that the right word? Sneaky. That is sneaky, because again, you think, oh my God, I have to buy this. If I miss out, look at the savings I'm missing out on. I hate this idea of girl math. We're not even going to go into that. But if you're spending money, you're parting with money. I don't care how much you're saving, you're still losing money. What you might be getting back is value, sure. But like, let's not pretend we can quote unquote girl math our way out of it. We are smarter than that. I also think, especially with the crap that is being spewed out through some of these bigger machine sort of shops, that doesn't make any sense. But you know, like the Temus, let's just call them out, the Temus. The crap that looks good, and there's nothing better than seeing the Temu fails. Like when the people think they're getting like an oriental rug for like, I don't know, $3.99, and then they get it and it's like a rug for their computer mouse. Or like the formal dresses, and you see the photo that they've got. I'm not saying this is from Temu, I've just seen these online. The photo that they've got with the model in it, and then they show you what the dress is when they turn up. Like, it's such a waste. It's a waste of money. It's such a waste of time, and it's probably going to break or end up in landfill. Like, that's crap. It's crap for, you know, the environment. Like, there's so many things that are bad about it, but it's just also like, oh my God, lol. Let's avoid that. Yeah, as funny as they are, let's leave that to other people. We want to make sure that you are buying better, buying quality stuff that is going to last, that is going to stand the test of time, that is not going to break next week or the second time you use it. And I know that that can be harder because it means that you might need to shell out a bit more money up front. But if it has more longevity, or if it has longevity, you know what I mean, it's probs a better buy in the long run. Personally, for me, and you do you, I am trying to shop small and support small business land, because I really feel, especially over the last couple of years, small businesses have had it so tough, and I really understand that as a small business owner myself. I want to try to be as sustainable as I can. Again, everyone's ability to do that is different. And this is not to say you must or you should. You do whatever is right for you with whatever you can, because some people want to and they just simply can't right now for some items. I absolutely get that. For me, I'm trying to do small, sustainable, and some people have given me some wonderful businesses that I mentioned before that are women-led, which is exciting because women lead, actually, I think the majority of small businesses, but often are less likely to pay themselves super and, just has all these, they're less likely to get funding in terms of equity and VC and all of that stuff. So I just want to support some small, great businesses with the money that I have, recognizing I can't support them all, which is very sad, but maybe we as a collective can support many of them. Some people I know are instead like boycotting the whole thing and instead making donations, which is awesome. I've seen some cool campaigns around that only a couple of weeks ago, so that's awesome. Some businesses are donating a portion of their profits for stuff that is sold over that period of time. Again, I think we just need to understand, is that just to try to make you feel good about buying? Is that virtue signaling? Why can't you do that all the time? I don't understand all the reasons and considerations around it, but something to think about. Some businesses are like, we actually can't discount, and are really transparent about that, which I think is also fair. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't shop there if they're not discounting, if they are right for you. My hot take is also to avoid, if you can, buy now, pay later traps. We need to bring back lay-by. We need the opposite, where you don't get the thing until you've paid it off. We just made it so unbelievably easy to get ourselves into sticky situations, into financial hot water. And I think it is really easy to forget that that's your money on the other side of that purchase that you've got to pay for, even if it's in installments, even if you're telling yourself you're not getting charged anything. It is very likely that you will spend without a real connection to that if you're using credit cards, buy now, pay laters, any of those things. And we do see financial hangovers. We do see people with huge levels of guilt, particularly at this time of year. This is when it all starts to ramp up. And what I see kind of mid-December is people are feeling almost too far gone, that they're like, oh, well, fuck it, I'm here now. I'll just keep spending. Oh no, you can stop at any point. That's not how you want to start your new year. So if it means that this year you need to sit it out, and you can create, I don't know, even a separate bank account for next year, and you put, I don't know, $10 a week or whatever you think is going to work for you, fine, do that. The world's not going to end if you don't participate in Black Friday for you, most probably. I can't guarantee that the world's not going to end in the current state. So what do we want to avoid? We want to avoid a couple of things. We want to avoid the adrenaline, brain chemically intoxicating spending, the urge purchase. Yeah? If you feel that within you, and we all know what that feels like for us, it might feel different for everyone, but we know what that feeling feels like. If we feel that, that needs to be an alarm bell, which is annoying because it actually feels really good. So it seems like a weird contradiction, but you're like, no, I don't want to stop this. This feels nice. This feels fun. It's like, yeah, it does now. It might not later. And so I think this recognition or just awareness internally that if we're feeling that, we just probably need to take a bit of a pause. I think we want to make sure that when we are looking for the things that are on our list, sometimes the things that you want are actually excluded from what's on sale. It's just be conscious and aware of that, because what are you going to do if the thing that you really want is the only damn thing that is not on sale? Are you still going to buy it? Is that okay? Are you going to look elsewhere? Just have a bit of a plan, because, I think many businesses kind of do that site-wide trap where the things that you actually want don't actually get discounted. The 24-hour rule, very important. Over the coming weeks and months, you're going to need to use the 24-hour rule whenever you can, maybe even having an accountability buddy where you're like, here's my budget for the next couple of weeks for spending, and maybe you can kind of gamify it with them. And every time you spend, I don't know, maybe have a joint notes thing on your phones, or you text each other and you're like, right, I've put $30 towards this, or I just bought this for this, or I've just found this. How can you create something where you are gamifying it but doing it with someone else, so there's some accountability as well, so you don't just accidentally spend, I don't know, $1 bazillion more than you had planned. Decision fatigue can get real fast, and so if you know that you need these things and you know that you have budget for these things, and this is probably speaking to the people who are not listening anymore because we've been talking about overspending, but the people like me who actually find it really hard to spend on things like, do I really need to wear a bra, doctor, or wear undies? Yes, I do. Do I really need to wash the dog? Yes, I do. And I can get paralysis because I'm like, analysis paralysis, where I can just go around in circles and be like, oh, I don't want to. And I miss out on those sales, which is silly because then I know I need the thing anyway. So if that feels like you, have your list, have your budget, and just go. And I also think it's important to talk about the fact that Black Friday creates a huge amount of waste. Even in just like returning items or all the packaging, fucking hell, all the plastic stuff that everything comes in, all the fast fashion dumps, like honestly, buying less is better for the planet and for your purse strings, most probably. So be really ruthless in what you're buying. Remember, kids like the packaging and the cardboard box of 99% of the toys they get over the toy itself. I'm pretty sure that is like scientifically proven. And if it's not, there needs to be a scientific study done on it because I'm so sure that that's true. So it is okay to buy less than you ever have before for Christmas, for gifts. It is okay to make handmade stuff. It is okay to do differently to what you have done before. And it is okay to also just decide to sideswipe it all together. So I don't think Black Friday needs to be the financial villain that I have always sort of assumed it is. I am now trying to work with her or him or them or whatever we're going to personify Black Friday as, to try to make Christmas less stressful, because I find Christmas shopping, I find gift giving in all its forms heinous. I find it a really hard thing. I get really stressed and overwhelmed. I'm just not a natural gift giver. You know those people that are just like really good at giving gifts? I gave one of my friends a pair of earrings last year for her birthday and I fucking nailed it. And I'm so proud of myself. But then I felt enormous stress this year for her birthday. I haven't even bought her a birthday gift and her birthday was last weekend. And she's like, don't worry, you did so good last year. You've got like 5 birthdays up your sleeve. And I was like, thank God, because I don't know what to get you. I find shopping stressful. I find gift giving even more stressful. But I am trying to see this as an opportune way or time to make Christmas less stressful, helped by the fact that I only need to buy one family gift, and stock up on the things that I know I'm going to need anyway, so then my brain's able to rationalize that spend, and also to feel in some way that I've been able to learn more about other brands and businesses and support people that are doing great things. What's on your Black Friday list? Where have you massively fucked this up in the past? And you're just like, oh dear, one time I did this thing and here's what happened. What are your lessons and learnings from that experience? I want them, all the juicy details. Jess Brady _financial advice on Instagram, or post in the Money community. Who's got a business that we can support? What do they do? Why do you love them? Go onto my Instagram page. I'll make sure that there's a post by the time this comes out. Please tag away and I will add them to my ever-growing list of wonderful businesses that I want to learn more about and potentially use in the future. And it means that we can potentially use some of those businesses that are listed for our spending too. That is all from me. You know what to do. Good luck this Black Friday and Cyber Monday, however long it lasts for. Go now. Go and be financially fierce. Bye.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia. We pay our respects to elders past and present. Any advice is general financial advice only, which does not take into account your objectives, financial situation, or needs. Because of that, you should consider if the advice is appropriate to you and your needs before acting on the information. If you do choose to buy a financial product, read the Product Disclosure Statement, PDS, and Target Market Determination, TMD, and obtain appropriate financial advice tailored to your needs. Jessica Brady is an Authorised Representative of Paragem Pty Ltd, Authorised Representative Number 1259972, AFSL 297276, ABN 16108571875, Corporate Authorised Representative Number 1305567.